So we're going to have a quiz on the names of the elements of the periodic table. Generally, I have 2 quizzes, okay? And the first quiz is really easy. It's 1 through 18. And the second quiz is easy also. It's 1 through 36, all right? So I can go ahead and tell you that you need to know how to spell the names correctly. And you need to understand the symbols. Now, if we're looking at the symbols, you see that the symbols, most of them have 2 letters. Not all of them. Most of them are 2 letters. And the first letter is always capitalized, okay? So, real quick review, I'm going to go over some, right? This is hydrogen, right? Hydrogen, number 1 on the periodic table. It's the lightest element that we know. Hydrogen is a gas. It's super flammable, super combustible. It's what was in the Hindenburg when the Hindenburg exploded. If you don't know what the Hindenburg is, it was a dirigible, a Zeppelin, a blimp, and there was a really bad fire, and there's a really famous film of it occurring. Okay, hydrogen. Over here we've got helium. Helium and hydrogen are very different. Hydrogen is highly explosive. Helium is completely inert. Helium is what goes in birthday balloons. That's the gas that's in the balloons when it's your birthday, all right? Then we have lithium. Lithium is a very soft metal. It's super, super, super reactive. You can't even get it wet. Then beryllium, it's in a lot of greases. Boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon. Now, let's talk about fluorine. Let's talk about some spellings here. Fluorine, F-L-U-R, excuse me, not R, F-L-U-O-R. It's not spelled like flower. It's the opposite, F-L-U-O-R-I-N-E, fluorine, okay? And you know fluorine's in your toothpaste. There's an I on fluoride, okay? Then neon. And I can tell you stuff about all these, but neon. Na is sodium. Sodium. Now, the reason I mention that is it's Na, well, it's Latin, so the letters don't match, right? Na is sodium, S-O-D-I-U-M, magnesium, aluminum, or you'll hear me say aluminium sometimes, okay? Aluminum. Everyone else in the world but us that speaks English calls it aluminium. The reason we call it aluminum is the founder of Alcoa, which is Aluminum Company of America, liked the way aluminum sounded better. So he started calling it aluminum. Everyone in the United States got their aluminium from him, so we started calling it aluminum. And eventually scientists just gave up and just said, okay, we'll call it aluminum. And they weren't happy about it. But aluminium or aluminum, silicon, phosphorus with a pH, sulfur, chlorine. Chlorine is C-H-L. Chlorine, C-H-L-O-R-I-N-E. O-R-I-N-E. Argon, the pirate gas. And then now we're down here. I'm going to go ahead and do the last. Potassium, calcium, scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese, iron. Fe is iron. Cobalt, nickel, copper. Copper, cobalt. Copper, cobalt. Copper, cobalt. That's not copper. All right? These are just common mistakes. All right? Copper, nickel. Excuse me. God, I'm terrible. Cobalt, nickel, copper, zinc, gallium, germanium. Look, this is France and Germany. Gaul and Germany, right? Gallium, germanium, arsenic, selenium, bromine, krypton. Now, of course, I'd love for you to know all the rest. But 1 through 36, that's really the meat of the table. You'll become familiar with a lot of these just from hearing me teach, okay? But our quiz is going to be confined to the first 36, and I'm probably going to bust it up into 2 quizzes, 1 through 18. Today's Tuesday, right? So 1 through 18 on, we'll say we're going to have 1 through 18 quiz on Thursday. And then we'll have 1 through 36 on Friday. All right? That's pretty easy. I'm not asking a lot. Were you laughing because you thought it was so easy? That's what I thought, because that's not asking a lot.